We will be trying to stream. Got a bunch of delays going on here. A bunch of things happening in the world. World War III imminent. Truck attack. Slightly less concerning to us is the truck attack in Stockholm, which does suck. But file that under. Fuck, we can't deal with every problem. You know, it's like we got. I have problems that are immediate in the here and now, and I can't be worried about trucks in Stockholm. But just rinse and repeat, man. It's the same issue. We know who it was. We know the arguments and the apologetics and the minimalizers. Minimalizers? Sounds like a team of a superhero midget squad. I guess the minimizers would be more accurate. And what can we do? You arrest the people involved, you add it to your pool of knowledge about what the proponents of this religion are doing, and you decide for yourself whether or not you want to confront that reality. Um, I will decide for others whether or not they are confronting that reality and call them out if they are or are not. But right now we have fights happening in Buffalo, New York, which, after looking at the caught it. After looking at the footage from the embeddeds, Buffalo, it doesn't look like a place I need to go anytime soon. Upstate New York, ooh. I mean, all those cold weather places, but if I'm going to be in a cold weather place, it better have something to offer me, as in culture, or I don't know, just give me something. Like, there's got to be a reason I'm freezing my balls off. If I go to Moscow, it's to take pictures and enjoy architecture. It's not to just sit there and be cold. Now, on this last video, I'm just checking out some of the comments. Me and Rowan just had a back and forth on Twitter. He says, I've been waiting for another stream. My Devon withdrawal has been horrific. Being without Devon is much harder than being without fapping. So not only is he without fapping, he's got a no fap sort of, I don't know, Ramadan going on. But he's been without sex his whole life. And I want him to be part of the Virgin Chronicles, which is I'm going to be highlighting and trying to help virgins. Because if I don't do it, who will? They can't do it. They can't help themselves. And we need to steer their genitals like a heat-seeking missile into some sort of orifice. And then we started joking about butt sex, and he says he's going to interview me about my obsession with butt sex. And actually, I've only had butt sex a couple times. I mean, we're not talking like I'm not even some pro at it. I've watched it more than I've done it for sure, but I mean, I guess you could say that for everybody. It's like what Hitchens said, it is overrated, and the whole thing becomes comical at a certain point. It just is this weird biological thing that you're playing out, and it really does come down to friction. I mean, I almost feel the same way about food. Sometimes I'll be eating food, and I'll have paid a significant amount of money for this food. It tastes good, but what is taste? Taste is momentary. Taste is just a fleeting sensation on your tongue, and then it's in your gullet, and I don't know. It's so temporary. You got to do it again and again. And I'd honestly, if they came out with just a pill that would fill you up, I'd probably take that 80% of the time. And all the foodies are probably going, no, no, it's all about the process and it's the sensation and the textures. No, it's just biological necessity. And if I could work my way around it, I would. This is why guys fap. I mean, this is why it's unbelievable that he doesn't fap. If you're a guy, and the guys out there know what I'm talking about. Hold on, is anybody listening? Uh, yeah. And it's fucking, look at that, lagging. Absolute lag fest here. What am I going to do with that? Well, it's the internet here. That's the problem. Let me think. Think. Why would... Okay. Let's see if this gay method I'm about to attempt can possibly work. I've trimmed everything down. I mean, everything. The bit rate, the scale at which we're dealing with. It's going to be just a peak hole, and I'll have to work around it. I've done more anal than kissing. No, you haven't. You've done neither. And don't even try to front. I think that guy counts him fapping, watching porno to things he's done. That your mind has done that. You did not do that. So please refrain from lying. You're a liar. I gotta figure out if this is gonna work. Would it lag? What can I do? If I talk slower, would that help? Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna try to restart because I need to change a setting because it's just too much rubbishness. I can't deal. Looks like I'm still on the old one. How do I tell? Let's go to the Creator Studio. My massive channel. Oh, approaching 1,000 subs. Approaching $7. So, balling. Balling. Big time. Girls, it's hard when you're a pariah in the anti-SJW community. Okay. Tasteless opinion talks shit about Devin. Who's tasteless opinion? Why am I not surprised that somebody's talking shit about me? Kraut, drop that fat bitch. What the fuck is that? Spinal versus Kraut would be... Would you rather be a virgin or fuck a fat chick from England? Kraut looks like a fat chick from England. Who's tasteless opinion? What's your view? What about Spino? What about him? What is there to talk? What about him? I honestly, what do you want to know? Who cares? Is what about him? Dick. Okay. It's not working. It's not working. It's not working. Oh, I can tell it's not working. I want it to work though. Is Devin preaching Buddhism? Everything is temporary. Yes, I'm being very profound in my thought process here about food and sex and about how much of it the mind is putting into it, how much of it we are sort of subconscious in regards to, where we're not really, I don't know, we're not really choosing to want these things. We just want them because we're programmed to do that. Oh, do you realize that I got flagged? The repository site got a fucking flag. The fuck? It has a strike. It has like 5 videos up, and it's like the most harmless shit ever. Unbelievable. Alright, hold on. Let's see if this is any better. Yes, it's working. Okay, now somehow I'm gonna have to fucking figure this out. So you're getting a pee hole. Just literally a pee hole view of my screen. But at least you can probably get my voice. And just let me know if that's working for you. Is this working now? Hello? Okay. Let me try to figure this out. Okay. So, yeah, Rowan, talking about virgins, talking about sex. Yeah, so he's against sex. He's like super worried about it. He thinks he's going to be diseased by it or just croak. It's the saddest sort of song and dance in an attempt to rationalize why he's a virgin. Man, what I love is the outspoken versions, which is I think the outspoken realist is an outspoken virgin, but I just don't understand how we've let it slide. How has that been normalized? It's not normal. And I've said before, if you're a 10-year-old and you're a virgin, then that's normal and that is socially acceptable. It's a necessity. If you're 15 and you're a virgin, that was normal before, and now it's probably less normal by a large margin. But there's absolutely no problem with being a 15-year-old virgin. If you're a 20-year-old virgin, I'd even go so far as to say that that's not really a problem. Like, you should probably start thinking about it. Like, dude, what are you up to? But it's not a problem. 25-year-old virgin, if we're going by intervals of 5, that's a major problem. If you go from 20 to 25 without fucking, you're a time bomb. Okay, it is no longer cute. It's not good. It's just not a virtuous thing. This is not you being pristine. This is you being a loser. And that's just the realness of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that's you. If you every year after that, it just becomes more of an insane, cruel joke that you're playing on yourself and the world. And you're fucking shaming your family at that point. A 30-year-old virgin? Okay. A 30-year-old virgin should be thrown into a volcano, along with 30-year-old women, actually, because they have no more use. But, I mean, neither does a 30-year-old virgin. What? Useless. Pointless. What have you done? I'll tell you what you've done. You've done nothing. Okay? If your life should be logged on like it's a nanny cam, and the only time that the nanny cam gets turned on is when your dick is inside a vagina. Okay, so most people's lives it would be a very it would look like the footage from Saving Private Ryan when they storm Normandy. It's a lot of handheld. Okay, it's kind of the cinematography within the canal is not exactly a smooth cinematic experience. But if you have zero time logged in on that, uh, look, we need to start doing barrel rolls. We need evasive maneuvers. It's desperation time. We need to try something new. We need me to step in and guide you to the promised land. So this is the impetus for the Virgin Chronicles, and I will be asking virgins out there: Are you a virgin? Are you okay? Are you a virgin? Yes, we know you are. Are you willing to admit you're a virgin? Now that's a huge if. But if you are that guy, that is encouraging because it shows strength and it shows character and it says, okay, I recognize that I'm not that into what I am right now, but I want to change. And once you say those magic words, then we're just going to, it's the law of attraction. Okay. And we will put you in the best situation possible so that someone with a vagina is attracted to you. We can do this. This is not, there are some situations where it's absolutely impossible. And if you're that guy, I will tell you that to your face. But outside of that, I think we can salvage your wasted life. Okay. Sad. Wrong. Amy Schumer. Why am I talking in Trump voice? Oh, because sad. The caps. So triggering. It's so triggering that this fucking guy is our president. Oh, God almighty save me. Okay. Emu Schumer. She wishes she had thin legs like an emu. Please. Okay, let me see here. Is it really? Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to set something up here. Chill out. Uh-huh. Oh, yes. Why is Chrome fucking with me now? Chrome, you're straight up fucking with me. You guys heard that song about issues? It's a new song and I'm into it. Okay. I'm totally rigging the system here. It's a thing of beauty. Now let's test that. Okay, we're going to go over this UFC, and then I'm going to answer some questions because you guys are active and fun and cool and like that. Okay, we got a fight. Yeah, it's in Buffalo. Just had the weigh-ins. It was ridiculous. Some bullshit shenanigans at the weigh-ins. Who is Devin talking about? I'm talking about almost everybody. There's a lot of virgins out there. And the reason why it's a new thing is because we never used to hear from them before. But the internet gives such a veil of security. It's a false veil. It's like it just boosts these people up to the point where they think it's okay to talk about their love for My Little Pony or their love for gaming. Their total mind-destroying obsession with things that they should have long since grown out of. Fake wrestling, for example. And virginity is just another one. Like MGTOW, what the fuck is that? If you try to just assert MGTOW crap before the internet, people would be laughing in your face. You would be ostracized immediately and just scarlet letter that freak. And now it's like you get together with 1,000 other dudes like you, and it's like, oh yeah, we're normal. I'm normal in the MGTOW community. I'm normal in the Brony community. So fuck, who are you to tell me I'm not normal? Period. I'm Devin Tracy. That's who I am, and you're not normal, and you're a virgin. So we got some YouTubers in here. I Hypocrite and Billy Bong. Are we allowed to call somebody a YouTuber before they hit 10K subs? Aspiring YouTubers, we'll call them. Yeah, the Trump people losing their mind. I'm actually very surprised at the people they used to be Trump fans, but now they don't like the fact that he's going into Syria. Like, I don't get that. Because typically Republicans and just people on the right in general are hawkish. I mean, they're typically fine with war. So I guess this is a new variant, but it's just weird because they've been kissing his ass over every other insane thing he's ever done, all of his lies. So what's the difference with this? I don't see it. I mean, why? Why are they jumping ship off this? And it is really crazy to hear what Putin said in response to this, calling it a international war crime and saying this is an act of aggression on a sovereign state. That's the shit we said right before we started World War One and Two. Technically, World War One. The declaration of war was in response to the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's all about dominoes. So yes, this is not war. Well, it is war with Syria, but it's not war with Russia. But what do you think leads to that? I mean, but then Hillary Clinton. It's April 2017. I'd like to talk about Mrs. Hillary Clinton, if you will. Yeah, that's just straight up denialism. I think it's priceless. The people that they're going to be talking about Hillary Clinton, they're like, I was happy. I was spoon fed about 1,000 different talking points about Hillary Clinton, so I'm happy with that. I could do an hour of stand up on just fuck Hillary Clinton. I Hypocrite just got my insult. Nice. Actually, aren't new YouTubers not even allowed to monetize till they have 10,000 views, something like that. Oh my god, the YouTube apocalypse is funny, man. I don't give a shit anymore because I'm off YouTube, and the website's looking good and it's very close to completion. Devin giving free life advice, just rambling. We're ramblicious. I'm coming off a Thai massage. Just had a Thai massage. Just had some Indian food. Full belly, actually, full belly of Indian food, and then she started rubbing my belly, which is always dangerous. This young Thai woman started rubbing my belly, and I don't know if you've ever rubbed your belly, but like it moves shit around, like gases and internal juices, and it's a very strange place to rub. A very self-conscious place to rub too. It's like, I'm not really rocking a six-pack here. I mean, pretty much guys who have six-packs are kind of gay. Gay for themselves, gay for just depleting themselves of good food. And there's really almost no reason to have a six pack unless you're like young and have stupid, crazy metabolism, or you just want to deprive yourself of carbohydrates. Or I can't really rationalize it. Um, that being said, you don't want to get chubby and sloppy. You don't want to be Greg, the armored belly, the mushroom cloud muffin top man. So chill out on that. Why is TJ trying to emulate H3H3? Ridiculous. Get a personality and stick with it. Is he really? TJ is he's transitioning. I think TJ faces burnout. Didn't he just move? I think he's in Seattle now, somewhere near it. And he's burned out on atheism. He was burned out on YouTube drama. He's burned out on YouTube in general. And now he's not getting the same money for it. And he's burned out on the drunken peasants. And they were trying a bunch of shtick. And I mean, that shit is so formulaic and bad. I mean, you know it. Have you ever seen an episode of that? It's fucking desperate. So he's trying to figure out his role. He's also evolving as a man, like growing up out of a long, extended childhood that was nurtured and enabled by his YouTube popularity. So what that did was it just affirmed and validated his really counterproductive lifestyle choices and detrimental choices such as eating and drinking and doing drugs and sexual deviance and just overall couch potato sort of fuck it, fuck the world. And when people were rewarding him for that attitude, it sent the message of, oh, that must be good. I must be a rebel. I think I'm a character. I'm just a public figure now. Well, not really. You're just kind of a fuck up. And so, yeah, I could understand why he's, I don't know, looking for something else to do. It happens, man. Devin is the YouTube version of Gregory House. Is that The House? Never watched that show. Never got into it. I know he's an atheist. I know he's British. I know he puts on an American accent, pretty convincing one, if I'm not mistaken. But not too familiar with him. AdSense conspiracy theorists say Roger McElfresh. Well, if that's you in the little icon, clearly you're a muscle guy. I mean, see, muscle guys like Roger, he goes and buys tank tops. They're not even normal tank tops. Like he buys the G-string version of a tank top. He wants you to see every part of his pectorals and his traps. He's been working on them. He also is cycling. Roger does steroids, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to tell you he's pissing hot. So, it's assisted by, horse steroids, and it's not exactly au naturel. Admit it, Roger. TJ should transition to the treadmill. To really fat. See, TJ's fat. It's weird. It's like because he has no motivation. I don't think he's always going to be a big guy, but he's not even trying to not be fat. Like that's what's kind of amazing about it. He's totally content, and this is his youth. Let's just not forget he's a young guy. What's he, 30 or something? Like he should be sort of priming out in terms of his athletic physique, and he's not even close. So dietarily, I mean, look, he doesn't even have to work out if he just improved his diet. Like put it this way, if you went vegan, if you go vegan, you're gonna lose. I'm not kidding. It happened to me. I think it's 10 to 15% of your body weight in the first 2 months. Just by your diet. That's it. Done. Sold. Now you add on top of that some yoga. Forget it. TJ would be a model. TJ has rustic, rugged, chiseled good looks. Sort of like chic, hot cowboy. Jesus. Obese Jesus. Let's have a good skill, Paris people. Who's ready to get a Paris? Okay, well, I'm here to talk about UFC. Jesus Christ. Let's oh my God. Okay, so the weigh-ins come. So friggin' scandalous. I'll tell you a tale. Apparently you have only 2 hours. There's a 2-hour window that you got to weigh in. They do it. They've changed it up. So right now it's in the morning time in New York, in Buffalo, and if you don't get them weighed in at that time, the athletic commission, I don't think they're allowed to get the fights off. So there's about 5 minutes to go for the official weigh-in time, and they still hadn't weighed in the main event guys, which is um, Daniel Cormier and Rumble Johnson. And so at the last second, out comes Daniel Cormier, and he's looking haggard, looking beaten up, looking like he just wrestled a tiger. And he's got like a pouch and like fat dad bod, but like emaciated dad bod, totally devoid of any fluids. So he looks like just AIDS dad guy. He's balding, not bald, balding, which is different and kind of not a good look. And he's got just, yeah, just a fupa, just a gunt. And he staggers out, just no energy. And yeah, just does not look athletic at all, and never has really. But now is the worst shape of his life. He's 38. Strolls up on the thing. He weighs 106. Amazing weight cut from Daniel Cormier. 206.2, which is you have to be 205. This is a championship fight. They're not going to give you the 1 pound allowance at 206. So he's a pound 0.2 over, and there's no more time. So they're like, oh shit, this is not going to happen. He leaves. He goes off stage. And about 2 minutes later, he comes back, and they got the towel out, and he's buck naked, and you also see his ass. I saw his ass. And he comes back, and they weigh him again, and they bring two towels out. So they have a white towel, and then they have a black towel and a white towel, and they're right next to each other. And his two friends, or I guess it's coaches or whatever, are holding the towels. They're holding it kind of taut, and I thought that was weird. And then he rests his hands on the towels. You hear what I'm saying? He's resting, he's pushing the weight, he's transferring the weight from his arms onto the towels. And they weigh again, and they go 205 real quick, and then he runs off. And he's like, yeah, 205. And it makes no sense whatsoever how a man can lose a pound, 1.2 pounds in 2 minutes. Let's think. Count the ways this is possible. He could have taken a shit. Now, these guys are professionals, and you have months of training. This is like a year in the making, this fight. 2 years. This is a rematch. But long-ass training camp. He has a nutritionist. You're whittling down your weight. This is all professional. This is the elite level. So there's every incentive in the world to make weight. And he can't make the weight. So, what are you supposed to do in 2 minutes? Take a shit, throw up, give blood. Really, there's very limited. Like, just rip off your fingernails and shave. So I don't think he did any of those things. I think he went over and just put his weight on the freaking towel. And I bet you that's an old wrestling trick. I don't even know. Like, there's superstition. Like, if you're about to weigh yourself, do you exhale? I've seen guys do weird shit with their breathing. So it's like they know it's going to be close. So they get on the scale and they sort of get all the oxygen out of your body. It's so ridiculous. I don't even understand why there's weight cutting at all. It doesn't make sense in terms of a man code about fighting. If you want to say, let's do it by weight class, that makes sense. Let's not have a little guy fight a big guy. That doesn't really show us who is the better fighter. So what do we say? We say, well, okay, it's not by height. It's not, let's get, tall guys to fight tall guys. No, it's by weight. That makes sense. Different body types can fight, but the weight is the factor that balances it all out. Devin Tracy is a model of male excellence. Might as well face it. No, I'm just normal. I'm normal manliness levels. But compared to much of what we see on the internet, it comes across as a very stark difference. But it's not because of me. It's because of them. So, yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah, why have a weight class at all? Just size them up. Be 205 right as you enter the cage. You're going to fight at this weight. Now, we should make changes if we're going to do it like that. So in other words, we need more weight classes. We need a 225 class. We need a 195 class. So be it. Do it. And then for heavyweights, just let them be whatever weight they want to be, which is basically what it is now. But extend it on up to 300 pounds. What's the point of having these guys cut down to 265? It's not an advantage to be 290. There's a law of diminishing returns. You're not just going to. I mean, I know the heavyweights lack technical ability, but you're not going to get some 320-pound guy just like flopping his weight on you and be like, well, that's the end of that fight. He's never getting up from that. I mean, those guys have zero cardio. So anyway, some bogus stuff, and then Anthony Johnson came in looking good, looking ripped, much younger fighter, a physical freak. Used to be fight at 170. He weighed in at 203.8, so he was well under the weight and looked strong, and he's about to inflate and just be a monster in the cage. So let's go to the fight card here. First fight, and I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't know much about most of these fights. So it's going to be just me riffing, and then we're going to talk to the chat. I just like to talk about UFC, Let's not make it more complicated than it needs to be. Janelle, that sounds like a girl's name. Loza, the Demolition Man. Is that in reference to the Sly Stallone movie? From the Philippines, I'm already against him. 7-2. Look at him, all ripped up. There's a six-pack for you. Look at his ribs all defined. Oh, sexy. Wearing that yellow. I wonder why everybody wears that yellow. Like Anderson Silva did it, but why is everybody up on the yellow tip? But he's taken on Magomed Bibulotov, which is scary. They don't even have a picture of this guy. He's from parts unknown. No, he's from Russia. Nickname, Charbors. It needs to grow on you. That's not an instant classic for me. These are 125ers. And don't know anything. I do respect records, and I do respect geography. And if you were to bet against the Asian fighter, you would be a millionaire. If that was just the only thing you went by. When an Asian fighter fights a non-Asian, bet against the Asian. Somebody want to crunch those numbers? I mean, that information will be like the bell curve IQ test shit. It would be very damaging, but it is true. It is true. So it's like never get involved in a land war in Asia, which is from The Princess Bride. Similarly, never bet against a Russian named Magomed with an ending of Tov, who's undefeated from Russia. You're not going to get ahead with that. Okay, moving on. We have Caitlin Chukagian. It's a great name. From the U.S., taking on Irene Aldana. And I just saw her weigh in. Can you see that? I think you might be able to see it. This girl's tall. She's 5'9", the Mexican, 7'3". She lost her last fight. She's lost a couple fights. I think she might 2-fight losing streak, something like that. Very tall, but Mexican female fighters do not have a good track record. I don't know about this game of the Caitlin. If she's a wrestler, she's probably going to have a lot of opportunities to take this chick down. These girls do not have a history of wrestling or jiu-jitsu or anything. I mean, they got the boxing heritage, so there's a chance she can throw some punches. But obviously, I'm speculating here. Leg reach. She's got 4-inch leg reach advantage over the tall chick. How does that work? I guess she's just as tall. What the fuck? Okay. 8-1, 7-3. I'm taking the U.S. girl. Home field advantage. That does come into play here, and it will for Chris Weidman later in the fight, who's from New York. Girl fights always fun. I will be watching. I will always look for the north-south choke, which makes me laugh like I'm Beavis and Butthead. Would I go against Crowder in a UFC match? Sure, if I was a UFC fighter. I don't have the muscle memory. I don't have the training. I have the will and the competitive spirit, but nowadays you'd have to be in there training, striking. Striking is also a very unnatural thing. Throwing elbows and punches and kicks and to do damage, to do harm to another human being, it's not normal. It's just not what normal people do. So you'd have to get over that hurdle. You'd have to get your cardio just crazy good. You have to get your pain threshold, your submission game, your takedown game. There's so much. So you have to be really committed, and no, there's no point. But yeah, Crowder's a buffoonish, chubby kid who's has hit the gym and thinks he's, I don't know. I don't know what he thinks he is, but he's a bit of a goober and a bit of a Boy Scout and yeah, kind of a square. But nice guy, funny guy. Next up, we have Josh Emmett. Wow, that's a weird body. Look at that. Got the colored tattoo. What's up with that on his chest? What is that? Weird. Strong rib cage. It's like protruding rib cage with muscles on it. Scary. Scary. Don't know what this guy's technique is. He's a 155er taking on a guy who came out in blackface and black body. That's not good. His Skull Punisher fight, of course. Skull Punisher did a little taekwondo back when I was 6. 10 and over is 19 and 5. I'm going with 10 and 0. This guy's name is the Predator, Desmond Green. That's a guaranteed black guy. Desmond Green, the Predator. In fact, I might even say that he might have dreadlocks. Desmond Green might have dreadlocks. I'll say it. Devin, the guy who plays Saul Berenson, yes, played Inigo Montoya from The Princess Bride, of course. Right? Raphael's telling me that like as if I don't know it. Amazing. Well, Raphael, I was. Let me explain that sentence to you the way it should have been phrased. The guy who played Inigo Montoya from Princess Bride is now playing Saul Berenson on Homeland. That's how linear time works. That's how history works. And yes, his role in The Princess Bride. Princess Bride is one of my favorite movies, definitely on my top 10. It's a genre piece, so it's there's a time and a place for a fanciful fantasy. I mean, it's very unique. It's comedy, legit comedy, but it's romantic, and yet there's some adventure and some innovative storytelling. Pops around through time, and it's family friendly. It's a really weird, where it kind of just grooves on many different levels, but just an incredible film. You could really hype up The Princess Bride. It's good times. Yeah, just I was a big Andre the Giant fan. I went to see Andre the Giant fight Hulk Hogan, and me and my dad. So that was. I later hung out with. I didn't hang out. I was at the same bar as Hulk Hogan in Las Vegas at the Palms. He was up at the Ghost Bar, and I was up there. I think he was drinking away his sorrows. His wife was fucking a 19-year-old or something. Has Skull Punisher ever been in a fight? I had words with a guy when I was twitching last week. It got pretty heated. I would call it was a verbal thing, if that counts. And I think it was a verbal knockout. Definitely a TKO. Must I don't know. I'm a lover, not a fighter. When was the last fight you had? What were you fighting over? Yeah, I've never really been a big fighter. I would say the last fight, Jesus, probably it was like a non-fight, but it was very close to being a fight. But it was over a pickup basketball game, foul, a hard foul on some guy, and then getting up in his face, sort of thing. I used to, I used to have, I'd get fouled sometimes playing basketball, and I'd turn around, just chuck the basketball right at a dude's face. And there was one guy who choked me. He was a bit older than me. Choked me playing basketball. I didn't do anything to antagonize him, but he got mad at me for some reason. I think I was playing like hard defense or boxing him out or something, and he just got pissed and put 2 hands around my neck, pushed me up against the wall. That guy later died. I think he died in a car accident. I felt bad about it. Nice guy. I mean, aside from that. Devin, what are your thoughts on Homeland season finale? What do you think will happen? Yeah, incredible. I wasn't aware it was the season finale, but I guess it makes sense. I love the show, love where it's going. It's great filler. If it's on, I'm watching it for sure. But all these other shows are in off season or in hiatus. I think I'm a little bit disappointed with the storyline with I think Peter Quinn. I just don't like the whole fact that he's mentally disabled now, or chemically, I don't know, not the same. It turns into an episode of Forrest Gump, and I liked him as a CIA agent. I liked him as a thinking adult who could have a conversation. So that's a bit of a buzzkill. Aside from that, I think it's intriguing. I like how they've continued the storylines. They keep the characters in play. Doll Adal, isn't it? Oh, I forget his name. Something like that. Anyway, he's a great actor and was incredible in Amadeus, the movie. I actually saw him. He was sitting one row ahead of me at a Broadway play. I was at a play, I forget the play, but I recognized him instantly and I was like, oh my God, that's the guy from Amadeus. Um, so yeah, very good. Claire Danes obviously crying too much. The drama with her raising her kid is a bit not that into it, but they do it well and they pull it off, but it's the least interesting part of the storylines. I do like the terror angle. I do like the interplay with the new president coming in and the sort of undermining of her by the various agencies or the various subsets of the agency. I like the social media angle. I like the spoof on Alex Jones. I think it's relevant and fun and just a good blend of current events and relevant subject matter and good storytelling. That's my thoughts. Okay, Josh Emmett, Desmond Green, black guy, white guy, interesting. I'm not sure if this white guy can, if he's going to try to take him down, or I don't even know. I don't. It's a stylistic matchup. It's going to come down to that. And anytime a guy has a 0-inch leg reach, that's a problem. So he's out there just literally a stump of a man. Next up, Gregor Gillespie. Never heard of him. The Gift. Well, that's a little cocky. 8-0. Taking on Andrew Holbrook. Looks like a strapping young lad. 12-1. Bit chimpanzeed out with the beard and the haircut. We got the tats versus the very few tats. Oh, he's got the arm piece. 155 pounders. Welcome to Murderers Row division there. I guess I'm against a guy who calls himself the Gift. The gift to who? To who? I didn't order this gift. What's the return policy on this? Devin, do you watch The Americans? I do not watch The Americans. What is that? Americans is great. I think I might have looked at it. The title just does not attract me. But yeah, so a fight I know nothing about. Patrick Cummings is back in action. Durkin, another pretty shit name. He is the former Starbucks employee. He's taken on Jan Blachowicz, who's lost a few times in the UFC. Big guy, these are 205ers, so they're throwing. But yeah, Polish fighter's always tough. Wait, how is it number 12 versus number 12? Statistically impossible, but okay. Patrick Cummins has had incredible performances. He's also shown that he has a chin problem, which is not good when you're in the heavier weight classes. And I don't think he's much of a fighter. He's an athlete. He's a competitor. But that scrappy, he can get hurt, but he'll recover and put damage on you. Not really that guy. I do like him. I like his persona. I like what he brings to the table. I think he's 8-4, but I mean some of those losses are pretty tough ass guys, like DC. I think he's going to get the takedowns on Jan Blachowicz. He's definitely. I mean, like Gustafsson got the takedowns on this guy at will and kept him down. And so I could easily see Patrick Cummins doing the same. He has to just play it smart on the feet and I guess protect what is a liability, which is his chin. And, Blachowicz has power and that's going to be the game plan. But I see no way that Blachowicz can stop these takedowns. None. So I'm going with Patrick. I wonder what the odds are on that fight. Is Skull Punisher a black man? No. Why do snow? I do have a few liver spots, so if you count those, maybe. Charles Rosa, Boston Strong, looking weird. Those ears flaring out like that. Very strong jaw. Looks like a tough, solid dude. A guy you probably don't want to get in a scrap with. We're talking about 145ers here. Shane Burgos is Hurricane. And he's got a bunch of tats. Oh my God, some hairy ass legs. And stars on the shoulders. What is that? Russian Mafia? Thick beard, looking jihadi. 8-0, impressive. Okay. He is a taller fighter. Boston Strong, no tats. I know Charles Rosa fights well. 11-2 is no joke. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see. Totally uninformed about this. Yeah, but anytime you get a newcomer with some shine and a big record, the record doesn't really mean that much until they're up against UFC competition. So essentially, he's 0-0, and Charles Rosa is probably like, I don't know, 2-1, 3-1, something. I don't know. Moving on. The Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman, who's freakish, got the tapered torso, muscles that are just seem to be independently formed and just put together in a very strange fashion. Yeah, that's a scary looking guy. And 170 pounds, taking on 18-1, 9-1 Nigerian, taking on 18-1 Sean Strickland, who's incredibly durable and tough. He lost one fight, but even that fight he was game and competitive in. Known for his striking. I think he's a well-rounded guy, but I think some of the mainstream logic on this is that he will be taken down again and just bullied and ragdolled by Kamaru. These guys match up. They're dead even on all these stats. This is going to be a banger, and it's going to be up to Strickland to impose his game plan, utilize that jab, create distance, circle, just implement his game. If he's going to throw kicks, you got to be careful. You cannot be taken down. You cannot be grinded upon. And if you are, then be active off your back. Either scramble to get up or work for the Kimura. Well, maybe not the Kimura on this guy. Devin, what are your thoughts on USA World Cup qualification performance as of late? As of later, I don't know. I have no knowledge of it. I mean, I barely care when the U.S. is in the World Cup, let alone World Cup qualifying, let alone qualifiers that haven't even happened yet. So, incorrect. Holy shit, I'm sick of this Muslim apologist on Swedish TV. Hey, you should really hear this and make a video. Yeah, well, oh God, I can only imagine what they're babbling about. I mean, all the truck attacks. I mean, it's so poignant that the same instrument of death has been used by Muslims, exclusively Muslims, in all these different parts of the world. We're talking about France, we're talking about Germany, we're talking about Israel, we're talking about Sweden. I mean, any others come to mind? But those are different areas, and if you cannot seek out a pattern from that, then you are either not trying to, or there's something foul happening in your thought process. You're not being real. And, the Not All Brigade, they come out every time. And, that's why I'm specifically make a point to shoot them down and to, pause the conversation for sure, but be like, look, why in the fuck are you giving me a not all argument every time? This should be seen as such a cliche at this point that anybody who dares speak it in public, it should stain their reputation. They should be laughed at for this. Cameroon's still mad about colonization. Nice. Head movement, clinch, clinch. Very nice. It'll be nice when I am back in Germany. I will have high-speed internet again, and we can have a conversation where it's not too much lag. You have too much lag. Screw you. Okay. Moving on. We have Miles Jury, who has not fought in quite some time. He's a young fighter, but he's coming off a long delay. Strong, well-rounded, next breed type of guy. He got big brothered by Don Cerrone. I think that's the last time I remember him. Mike De La Torre, El Cucuy. He's not the real El Cucuy. I don't know why he steals that nickname. 14-6. He had high hopes, but lost a couple of key fights. Any update on the website? Been needing an AIU fix? Yes, I have many. The website's very close to being done. We are right now switching servers. We're switching hosts, web hosts, offshore, so that it would be impossible for anybody to fuck with me and There's basically no restrictions out there. I got a couple technical things, but overall, I'm loving how it's coming. And I got 8 videos. 8. So many of them are substantially long too. 8 videos I've already done. They're already like absolutely done, ready. I can just here watch them, and but beyond that, I'd say I have about 20 ideas that I've written down, like already have planned to do videos on. 20, including a couple series, one of which is the Virgin Chronicles. You're more likely to die from a car crash than a suicide bomber, says Judge Pong. So, yeah, he's very wise. I don't know. Miles Jury, this could be an interesting little fight. I could see a decision for Jury. He might be the more technical guy. I feel like he is supposed to win this fight. I think he's a major favorite, actually. Way too much of a favorite. I'm like 5-1 or something crazy. So, I don't know. How's that for analysis? Will Brooks, ill will. Now, he's coming off a loss. He might have won his last fight, but it was like a decision, I think. 18-2. He's the former champ from Bellator. And, he talked a mad shit. And this is 155. He's taking on Charles Oliveira. So watch your neck, homeboy. Watch that neck. Oliveira is a magician, and he is a highly skilled jiu-jitsu guy. And tough, man. He's tough. He'll swing. He'll brawl. So I don't even know what Will Brooks is planning on doing here. I know some people are high on Brooks. And DeBronx is, sometimes he's injury prone and he can be swarmed upon. But I don't know. I'm not a huge Will Brooks guy. I don't like just the way he carries himself. And if he tries to clinch and go for takedowns on a high level jiu-jitsu black belt, then good luck. Good luck just defending all of his. It's not just guillotines too. It's not like this guy has weird. He's going to be throwing up some junk from the bottom. So it's one of those things where the wrestler's game plan leads him right into the trap that the jiu-jitsu player wants you to do. So, and striking, I think it's not even. I think it's pretty even on the feet. So I'd be interested to see the odds on this. But I'm actually rooting for Oliveira, I think. But he's not been the most reliable guy in the world. He's 21-7. I mean, he can lose. So we shall see. Could be fun. Moving on, we have Thiago Alves. This is a couple of old timers. I mean, they're not technically that old, but in UFC years, they are pretty old. They've been through many wars. Patrick Cote, the Predator, another Predator. Wow. Versus the Pitbull, and there's many Pitbulls too. Similar records, 26-12 versus 24-11. It's Brazil versus Canada, but it's closer to Canada, so it's pretty much a home. And he's also French Canadian, so Buffalo is going to be a quick stopover for all those Quebecers. Devin, recommend a hotel in Vegas. Yeah, I recommend many. I'm a Palms guy myself, but I mean, here's the thing: Vegas is a ripoff, a fucking ripoff. Okay, I just got back from there. There's no deals. I'm talking about. Here are the deals. The deals are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes Sunday. The prices will go up. I'm not kidding. About 4 times on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and yeah, sometimes Sunday. Depends which convention is in town. They have some algorithm that they do, but they're all in cahoots together. You're looking at resort fees, which is just a tacked on 30, 40, $50 every night so that you can use Wi-Fi and the pool and the spa. It's just an absolute arbitrary tax that they put on tourists. It's total dog shit. But in terms of quality, depends. If you want to blow a load and just you're there for a couple nights, then go wild and go to one of the newer ones. Check out the Cosmo. The Cosmo's got to be dope. I've never been there, but I mean, just from walking through the place, it's you're going to be hooked up. I was at Harrah's last time. I stayed at Harrah's, New York, and the Palms last time. If you want, for me, the Palms place is really nice. So is the Fantasy Tower at the Palms. You really are. It's just everything is so well designed, and you got a movie theater at the Palms. You got all sorts of food options. You're away from all the hillbillies and the madness of the Strip. I recommend it. You know, that's all I say on that. Now, Patrick Cote, he's a tough guy, good chin. Alves has got a good chin too. I don't think he's ever been rocked, or maybe once. Um, Submissions about even. I'd say the kicking advantage goes to Alves. If he starts doing his Brazilian freaking Jose Aldo shit on you, you're in trouble. And if Patrick Cote has a boxing background and he's heavy on that front leg, looking to plant and deliver, then it's going to get chewed up. I would recommend that as a strategy. Looks like he's got a 4-inch leg reach advantage. Patrick Cote does. Cote is a tough guy, but I just don't like anything about him. Never liked him from when he fought Anderson Silva, from when he fought Tito Ortiz. So, yeah, both these guys, toward the endish of their careers, home field advantage for Patrick, which could mean judging advantage for Patrick. I mean, the judges are influenced by the oohs and ahs of the crowd. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how these guys, how in shape they are, how motivated they are, and what their game plans are going to be. I could see a decision, though. These guys are both pretty durable. Now, next up, we have Cynthia Calvillo versus 4-0 versus Pearl Gonzalez, who was not featured here, but she just weighed in and barely weighed in. She had to strip naked and just made it. She's got big fake tits. Pearl does. Very femme looking chick. 115 pounds here. And I don't know. I've never seen her fight, so I have no idea. But based off my intuition, I would say that Cavallo is a more skilled fighter. And even though she doesn't have the same panache and look, she's the superior fighter and will probably, like many women's fights, when an advantage is had, it's clear and it's demonstrative. So like she'll take her down and she will mount her or get the back, and it's like that in the women's division. There's far less parity, so and far less sort of back and forth fights. It's usually okay, yeah, this goes clearly better, and far less finishes. So on that level, it's not quite as exciting because the finish isn't around the corner. But anyway, moving on to the co-main event. And this is one of my favorite fighters, and that is Gegard Mousasi, who is a stone cold killer. He is awesome. He's of Iranian descent, but he lives in Amsterdam. He's, a Dutch dude. He is 41-6. The guy's like 30 years old, 31 or something, and he's 41-6. That's insane. I don't know why they list him as Iran. That's he's a citizen of the Netherlands. So, United States, he's taking on Chris Weidman, the All-American. Terrible nickname. He's kind of a big kid. He's like a goofy kid. He's lost 2 in a row. He's got destroyed off the flying knee from Yoel Romero. He got the fuck beaten out of him by Luke Rockhold, which was, insane. I mean, he basically, his brain was just on the floor his last fight. So before that, he beat an aged Anderson Silva twice. One time Anderson broke his leg, but the first time he just sort of got him with the lucky punch. I don't even think I think he could have lost that fight too. He is a good fighter. He's a violent guy. He's a tough guy. He's a sort of New York, kind of like a Jersey frat guy. He's like Jersey frat guy, dad joke, let's play video games and dork out guy. I think his marriage and the fact that he's a father hurts him. Gegard Mousasi is not married. Gegard Mousasi has a hot, tall girlfriend who's a fighter. Gegard Mousasi is working on real estate deals with his brother. Mousasi is out to make money. He's out to create his legacy. He already has a legacy. He's 41-6. He's the dream champion. He's beaten incredible guys, including Dan Henderson and Jacare, and the guy's record speaks for itself. He's taken on everybody. Absolute assassin. Comes out with the demeanor of Fedor Emelianenko. Never smiles. Now he's showing more personality, but on fight day, he looks like just the calmness of a serial killer. He's got a very interesting body shape. His posture is very interesting. He's got one of these curved backs. It's a dangerous thing, that curved back. I think it is like coiled power. It has something to do with the way the back muscle is attached to the shoulders and the torso, and how the pecs but watch. You can't see it from this angle, but you'll see it. What he does is he walks you down. He's absolutely a master of all aspects of the game. He loves to strike. He considers himself a striker, but I mean, do not grapple with this guy. And that will be the technique of Weidman. And Weidman's one and only thing here is going to be to go for the takedowns. Chris does not want to strike with him. He does not. Now, Chris has some elbows, and he's, I'll tell you what he doesn't have, a spinning back kick. He tried that on Luke Rockhold and didn't work. It led to his demise. But Gegard is incredible at takedown defense. He's incredible at judo. He's amazing at sambo. He's amazing at jiu-jitsu. He has intangible things. He knows how to manipulate his opponent. He's done this. He's breathed this. This is his life. This man is a born and bred fighter. And he's not scared. He's not scared by the moment, by his opponent, by the challenge that is posed to him in the moment. He is just cool, calm, and collected in there. And coming off an impressive victory over, who was it? Was it the rematch against the black dude? I mean, he's just knocking dudes out. He's bullying them on the ground, just dummying them, just bashing them. Now, he's probably not going to do that to Weidman. It's going to be a hell of a task to get Weidman down. I don't think anybody's done it. Even Rockhold did it, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to get this guy down. So let's consider how this fight will go. I think, on the feet, I mean, Gegard's got a snapping jab. In terms of combos, Weidman, he's probably going to try to throw his combos. He's got that Ray Longo style. He's going to, do a couple little blitzes here and there, mix in some kicks, and probably try to get to the clinch, try to get to a front headlock, try to chain wrestle, try to get some takedowns. But if that gets squashed, this is only a 3-round fight. I mean, this could get interesting. It's gonna really come down to, see, because Gegard, usually he'll try to beat you on the feet, but then eventually he does want to take you to the clinch and take you down, and that's where he really goes to work on you on the top game. But to get top game on Chris, that could be a terrible waste of energy to try to take Chris down, because he is an All-American wrestler, and he is, devastating. Have you heard about Sweden? Yes, I've heard about Sweden. But what can we do? Just fire some Tomahawk missiles over on Stockholm. That seems to be our solution. I don't think Chris has karma on his side. I think this is a terrible fight for him. If you've lost 2 in a row, this is the last guy you want to see. When I saw that he was fighting Gegard, I was like, oh, well, now you've lost 3 in a row. Gegard is on fire. Gegard wants his shot at the belt. Gegard wants money. Gegard I think this is his last fight on his contract. Gegard is not somebody to be trifled with, and he's not taking this fight lightly, and he's looking in hella good shape. I mean, at the weigh-ins, the guy's ripped up as can be, lean as, it's ridiculous. So let's see Weidman has a 2-inch reach advantage. Interesting. Well, he better use it, because Gegard can counter-strike. Gegard can control the octagon. Gegard can implement his game. And so it's going to come down to, as it usually does with these fights, what is that game? What does he want to do with this opponent in particular? In terms of their place in their careers and their training camps and the way they're looking, I mean, a lot of momentum with Gegard. So be ready. To the point where he's the favorite. He's the favorite, going against the former champ and a guy who's ranked ahead of him. So we'll see. Now, that leads us to the main event. Daniel Cormier for the light heavyweight championship. He is the champion, DC. He bullshitted his way into weighing in at 205. He looks terrible. He has a gunt. He doesn't look strong, does not look like he's filled with vitality. Rumble, on the other hand, it looks like a monster. Is basically developed into his man strength, his dad strength. He's, I don't know how old he is, but he's probably around 30. And, he used to be much thinner, and now he's sort of blossomed into a lovely young man. He is scary. He is fast twitch muscle fiber personified. He is skilled, but he doesn't even need to be skilled. He's accurate with his punches, but even if a punch glances off people, it's so much power behind it that it terrifies people's bodies and they just go into fucking shock and cardiac arrest. So that's going to be fun. That first round is going to be fun. It's a 5-round fight. We're talking about 18-1 DC. He's never been beaten aside from the John Jones fight, which was a decision that he lost pretty close, 3-2. And in that fight, he was never hurt. He's been hurt. Gustafsson hurt him. Anderson Silva hurt him in this last fight. But John Jones, he did hurt him, but he hit it pretty well. If you go to the body, I would recommend Johnson go to the body. Devin, have you ever watched a rugby? I've watched it just here and there, not like sit down and watch a whole match start to finish. Rumble's got some good kicks too. Like he'll throw a head kick, he'll throw a body kick. He snaps those things off. But the problem is you got to watch out for the goddamn wrestling. But Anthony Johnson's a great takedown defense, but it better be great. It better be great, and his cardio better be great, and his willpower, and he cannot give up on this. I'm rooting for Rumble. I want Rumble to win. I don't think DC really deserves this belt. I think he was beaten by Gustafsson. I think he's had a bunch of really convenient fights put before him, including Dan Henderson. He should never been fighting him, and Patrick Cummings. So yeah, I think he's smug, and I think he's a boring champion, and he's been sitting on the belt and just milking it because he kind of knows that it's not going to be his for long. So yeah, I would like to see justice served here. Game plans are going to be the exact same as last time. It's going to be up to Rumble to make changes and differentiate his performance this time. I would say he's got to stay calm. He cannot go for the kill shot. He cannot dump his adrenaline. The problem is though, it's going to be fireworks because Daniel's not going to sit back and just strike with him. He's not going to enter like a sparring kickboxing match. Daniel comes forward. His whole thing is embrace the grind. So he's going to be walking him down. He wants to clinch him. And so the only way to stop that, the only way to stop a bully like that in the octagon is to bully the bully, which means you got to strike the bully, which means you got to have him respect your power, which means you got to clash. They're going to walk to the center of the cage and just start clashing. Now, Daniel knows the power of Rumble. Daniel might be tentative early on. He might sort of try to wait him out, so to speak, in that first round. If he does that too much, Rumble can unload. So he's got to overcome his instinct, which is the most normal thing to do, which would be like, ooh, let me get out of the way of this motherfucker. And he's got to get up on him. And it'll come down to the first couple interactions. So let's say Daniel throws jab, overhand right, ducks in, grabs a hold of the body, pushes him against the fence. Now we're in a clinch, grapple, go for a takedown, miss on the first attempt, second, drag him down to the ground the third attempt. Rumble's trying to get up. Now, 4 minutes has passed during all this, and Rumble's not the same as he was within the first minute, just because that's the nature of his body. It's the nature of having the muscles he has, and he has just a long history of fading and fading hard. He hits a wall. That might not happen in the first 4 minutes, but if you can get him down and make him struggle and get that lactic acid flowing. Like I remember early UFC fights, they would stop in 30 seconds. Like the first encounter, flash knockdown, bang. That's what you really got to be worried about that with this. So I could see that happening. It will be interesting. We have our doubts with Rumble because he's quit in the past. He quit physically, quit mentally. He can be choked out. He can be dominated. But once he is on his back, he's shown no ability to get up. None. So that's bad, obviously. And Cormier is an elite wrestler who has taken down everybody. So aside from John Jones. So yeah, should be fun. Should be fireworks. I'm excited about it. Now, having said all that, okay, done. Now I'm in the chat. I'm in the chat. What you got for me, people? What you got? Daniel is a wild pig. Daniel can box. Yeah, he can box. He's got some uppercuts and stuff, but you don't want to box with a guy who's got freaking dynamite in his hands. DC will try to ground and pound. He needs to knee that fat ass gut. Touch his liver a few times. Yeah, go to that body. I mean, he's on record. Anderson Silva, John Jones, Gustafsson, everybody's hurt him to the body. And if you saw him at the weigh-ins today, he already looks hurt to the body. His body is hurt already. Do you have Naked Ape's face? Look at Miles, always trying to talk shit, always trying to stir shit up. Why don't you just be 13 and like play with your Willy or just go play Mario Kart or some shit? And yes, I have his face and I know what it looks like and it's not impressive. Devin, debate Destiny. What on earth? Why? What is the point of that? That guy's a real obnoxious dick. I was listening to him have this debate and he's like, hey, you gotta recognize that point, dog. Hey, dog. It was like, oh, what are you trying to be, Randy Johnson or what's his name? Randy Jackson? What's his name? From American Idol? Terrible. You ever train, Skull P? I do most of my training virtually now. I train the mind. If the mind is sharp, the body follows. Devin is back. He blocked me 2 times. Let me censor myself before blocking me again. We are not talking politics now. Okay? You have some rage. Who is Naked Ape? He's a guy. He's a gay conservative, who shrieks and is mad about shit. So, want to be edgy, just making meme-driven, really bad videos. Dumb. Will you be able to stream over your new website? Yes, I will be streaming. Yeah, I'm going to be doing streams. I'm going to do Twitch. I got Twitch and I got streams. And I'm going to do Patreon Hangouts. And I got the archive up there. I'm going to have an archive of just every video from my first channel, which is 680, something like that. So that's going to be fun. Here's a nice little fun side note. Here is a feature that I'm going to have on my website that you're not going to have on YouTube. And that is, are you ready for it? Drum roll. Audio comments. So you will have a button under every one of my videos where you can write a comment or you can record a comment and leave a vocal recording of whatever you want to say and how you want to say it. And everybody else can play those and we can enjoy your creativity. Devin, if you were single, would you still watch Eurovision? Of course I would. What difference does that make? Yes. But you think like, oh, now that I've called off the dogs and don't care about what people think about me. No, I have a Eurovision video coming up. And that is going to be, I like it. It's I had fun making it. So I hope you enjoy it. Hey, Skull, the video or AMD? The video. What kind of a question? I love it. When it comes to graphic cards, I'm a bit of a stickler.
There's nothing I hate more than lag or latency issues. If I can't see the glorious kill that I just achieved, then what's the point of performing my records?
Devin, is it going to be a requirement to use your real name or post in forums on your website? No. No, there's going to be a variety of ways you can sign on. You can sign on, I think, using Twitter, Facebook, or Google Plus, or you can create a new login name for yourself, and it'll come with an icon. You can be able to upload an icon. So you're going to have options. Is saying no diggity still cool? Um, I'm not. Run it by one of the teenagers in here, and they'll tell you. See, that's the thing. They think that they have cool is generational. That no diggity could be cool if you're talking to a certain person, but for most people, it's played out. So people don't like old things. So I hear. Devin, do you have an opinion on Pearl Harbor? No, Pearl Gonzalez being pulled from the fight because of her implants. Did she really? Did she really? No. Please tell me that's not true. If that, I don't understand what the criteria. They know she has implants. Everybody does. Are you saying that it's a foreign substance? It's a performance enhancing silicone implant? You must be pulling my leg. Um, you have to be really, you have to be really careful with Twitch. They only let you stream actual gaming and ban everyone for non. Yeah, I'm not gonna. No, I'm gonna be gaming on Twitch. I'm gonna be playing chess and that Star Wars game and whatever dorked out nerd fest somebody wants me to play. We'll be playing it. Sports games, Call of Duty, Halo. Okay, I'm gonna be shotgunning people. No scope, baby. It's gonna be a no scope party and everybody's invited. What about being single? He's single now, or did I miss here? No, no. Somebody said that they were just trying to make fun of me because I like Eurovision. Audio comments. Get ready for constantly being reminded about your Jewish Black Nazi heritage. Well, yeah, I still have band authority, so it's just it'll be interesting to see how many people freak out at putting their voice. See, because putting your voice, that is not as anonymous, even though you still are technically anonymous, but it will feel different. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it affects the psychology of the person posting. The Amish truck of peace attacks Sweden. I know. Get ready for another video from Sci10 Atheist. Devin, I have to go pick up my kids. I'll catch you later. And Roger literally means pick up his kids. He uses them as dumbbells, and he does 20 reps with each kid. But one of his kids is 2 years older than the other kid, so that's why his right arm is all bulked out. What's the deal with the girl in the wheelchair on Eurovision? There was a girl in a wheelchair. She was representing, I believe, Serbia, I want to say, Croatia, maybe Poland. She had a terrible song and she could not sing, but she had a wheelchair. So I was like, what? This is weak. It's weak shit. DC should go to heavyweight and take his chances. Yeah, he'll get mauled. He will get mauled at heavyweight. Even though he did okay in the past in Strikeforce, I think he's no. If he goes to heavyweight, he's getting destroyed. Um, that's just a fact. But let's see. We'll see. Can you punch a fake boob? Yeah, there's boob punching, and I enjoy that. Um, you know, it's weird though because you can punch a boob and it's not a fine, but if you punch a guy in his crotch, it's like a major penalty, and they take 5 minute break. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go. I gotta go to the gym. Actually, all this talk about fighting has inspired me to go do precisely 6 push-ups. I thank you all for joining me, and let's hope that things settle down in Syria. Let's hope for some good fights tomorrow night. I'll be watching. You know where to find me. I'll live tweet it, put out a link to the stream. And the website's coming soon, and I will be entertaining you all. And I look forward to your audio comments and hearing your lovely voices, including the lovely voice of Chrissy from Art with Chrissy. And we should all aspire to speak like her, which is to have a lovely, elegant, posh Western English accent. Good night, everybody.